What's going on, everybody? This is Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, and I'm the Uncanny Omar. To my right is the unbelievable. I mean, quit giving yourself an adjective. You can't do that.
What the heck are you talking about? I gave you an adjective.
You did, but several adjectives over the years we've known each other, and some we cannot say on the air. The unbelievable Omnidog. What does that mean exactly? We can't believe anything you say?
No, it means I'm celebrating the release of the unbelievable Gwenpool Omnibus.
Oh, right. Yes, that is coming. Where is that? I have a copy of it somewhere.
Why did they send it to you first when you didn't even read it?
I'm like the biggest fan of Gwenpool that you've ever met. So that's why.
He couldn't put unbeatable because Squirrel Girl already has that one.
That's right. I know you're a huge fan of Squirrel Girl too. Well, so nice of Omnidog to help the small YouTubers very find me.
Yes.
Do people know that you call me that? Like, that's a thing, huh?
Yeah. Razor's a great person.
What the heck? All
There's
right.
also a good near mint condition and a poor near mint condition. Yeah.
Jess, where can people find you when you're not hanging out with me, my dude? And these
on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram.
Excellent. All right. And right below me is the Norwegian assassin, formerly of Wizard Magazine, Lars Pearson.
Yep. Yes, thank you for having me as always. Lars Pearson, formerly of Wizard Magazine and currently publisher and editor-in-chief of Mad Norwegian Press. And it's always a great joy to be here. And it seemed like passing it off to Kurtis here, because yesterday you had a lot of epic announcements. Are you still overstimulated and boingy from all the announcements you got to make?
Always, absolutely. It takes me like a week to recover, and I just can't keep up with all the Facebook posts and people tagging me and things.
Do you have to lie in a dark room until the auras fade?
That's right.
Okay.
You look especially boingy this morning.
Yes.
Can we not ever use those words? Like,
well, how about Tigger? You look very Tiggerish, Kurtis.
Okay,
Tigger, I'll take that. Kurtis would be cooler if he bought Omnis. Shots fired.
I doubt that.
We haven't even started the show.
I've reached my cool limit.
Omar now goes by the username Very Good Condition. Thanks, Jess. Jess always brings me down a notch and reminds me to keep it humble.
I think descending
my hands are legion.
Yes, finally descending to coverless condition. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Rip those virgin covers off. Omar, I feel like we are behind. Dean, me and you are kind of behind in the Omni announcement schedule. Where are they? Dean, I think we are falling behind, Dean. How about this? I haven't decided yet, but I got 2 approvals. I'm thinking maybe Saturday after the stream, and if you're on Patreon, that goes out earlier. And then maybe Monday. Is that okay with you? Or maybe Tuesday? How about Tuesday? Would that be cool, Dean? We'll let you decide. Because sometimes I have a hard time like when to drop the announcements. Because sometimes like if I do them back to back, it just gets to be too much, and people get drowned on like, wait, I missed this one. So I have to space them out some. So before we get started, though, I do want to thank David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us all of the collected editions catalog that we're going to be seeing here. And I wish I could put that right on top of your face.
Trying to pull it away from the square.
It's there, buddy.
You're either trying to peel it away or you're getting extreme arthritis. I'm going
to replace your dog mask with one of those near mint condition masks that you can wear with eye holes. So yes, this will be available everywhere here. I think usually mid-month. So November, the middle, 2nd or 3rd week of November is when this will be available everywhere. But we do have exclusive early access to this. So these are the books that are solicited for the month of February of 2023. Woo!
Dead of winter.
Which means that these books more than likely will be out in April, May, June. The big books, trades, they always do them ahead of time. February is mainly for the single issues, the floppies. I don't know. What are the cool kids calling them these days?
I think we still call them the floppies. I don't know.
Floppies. Okay. Jess, you're a big floppy flipper. What are they called? Single issues?
I believe floppies is still the term, or some people call them singles. Yeah. I don't.
And occasionally pamphlets.
Yeah.
What do you call them in Canada, Kurtis?
Well, we've always called them floppies as well. Up
Okay.
until
Floppies
it became too embarrassing to call them floppies.
When did it become embarrassing to call them floppies? Did somebody take
I
that?
don't know. It's just that there seems to be some sort of cultural shift where it's like we don't call these floppies anymore. It's singles. Singles is the way to go.
Yeah, we don't call them trade paperbacks anymore. Collected, like most of the time, it's like graphic novels. Like, there was that big shift in the early aughts where bookstores were like, okay, how do we get people to buy comic book collected editions? We'll put the word novel in there, make it a little more culture, and we'll make it a graphic novel. So they took that term, and like that's why you see them everywhere now at bookstores. So that term has definitely changed over time.
There was kind of this weird stigma that like trade paperback was for nerds, but graphic novels was for good and decent mainstream people.
Graphic novels will get you by in school.
Yeah.
Omar, does the NMC email still go to you, or do you have people? I don't have. I have Taylor.
Yes, people.
Social
Omar,
media.
do you have minions?
I do not have. I have
No?
Taylor. Thank goodness for Taylor. He does our social media. I still answer the email. I'm sorry if I'm a little slow though. There's a lot of emails, but thank you. That's Matthew Maggie, everybody, who is a phenomenal artist. Stuff is being published everywhere now.
Yeah. Oh, he is? That's great.
Yeah, he's doing games and stuff. When did they stop being called comics? Remember when they used to call them funny books? See in the funny pages? I don't think I've heard that term in a long time.
Yeah, that's dating me. That's what we used to call them growing up.
I think they wanted a term to differentiate between the formats. You know,
That was specifically a newspaper thing. Funny pages.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard a term at comic stores, like the older crowd would come in and ask for their funny books. And I'm not dissing anybody. Funny books is like, people in their, oh my God, people in their 40s. That was, that's when 40 was older crowd.
This is the greatest super chat you've ever gotten.
Do I need to read it? For very fine condition. I heard my ears burning. Please forward these funds directly to Omnidog, the best collected edition content creator on YouTube. Thank you. Unlike near mint condition, he actually reads his. Oh my God! How did you? First, I'm not giving you your money back. I know you wrote that. There's no way anybody that watches your show is a fan that big of a fan. I refuse to believe that.
Give me my $10.
Dude, YouTube takes a cut. I'm giving you exactly what I get. $6.37.
Okay. I'm waiting for that PayPal.
I'll take my 10% finder's fee.
That's fine. 60 cents off. That's fair.
Today was so exciting. My mom and dad came over to spend time with their granddaughter and me and my husband. Well, congratulations, Michelle. That's awesome. I hope everybody had a good gathering and everybody's healthy.
Yep, you're one of those weirdos that actually gets along with your family. This is shocking. Yeah.
My daughter crawled for the first time today. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember.
You'll have her reading Deadpool in no time. I mean, yeah.
My oldest started crawling and we had a set of stairs and I was like, okay, it's time to get a gate. Because I'm one of those parents that will let that happen. And I did. And I'll never forget that. That was a scary moment. Hey, Omar, this is our boy, Psycho Cleveland. How's it going? What's going on? It's Double C. Thanks.
Oh, he's got a name for himself.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Double C.
He is.
Double C might have missed the super chat. Do you want to highlight it again?
No, I'm good with that. As a matter of fact, I'm sending very fine condition their money back. I'm going to super chat them. That was not worth reading. I should be working. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Wait. Did we introduce Kurtis?
Roughly.
We can't. I mean, he was with me yesterday.
Not officially. Not officially.
Go for it.
Yeah. Please officially announce me.
Everybody else, Kurtis. All right, let's get started then.
You want to be announced like you're royalty?
I'm kidding. Everyone down below, this is.
I missed 2 shows, so I missed you guys. I missed Kurtis and I missed Lars badly.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Too.
I am truly touched.
Okay.
I did.
That's it? Okay. Kurtis, everybody, from the Epic Marvel podcast.
How can I miss you when you won't go away, Omar?
I never go. I'm always here, dude.
And Kurtis, you're doing more podcasts now that your kids are gone to school, right?
I'm trying to, but it's I'm just too busy these days.
Yeah.
I have one almost fully edited that I wanted to post last Friday, and it's like Now it's Thursday. It's almost Friday again. I try to post them on Fridays, but it's hit or miss these days.
I thought the one we did was pretty great, but that did seem to require a lot of editing on your end.
That was a lot more than usual for sure.
Yeah.
That was coordinating that one, but that was fun. That was really fun.
Lars, do you have a YouTube channel or podcast before we get started? People.
No. I give most of my.
What kind of slacker are you?
I know it's true. I give most of my social media energy to you, Omar, and occasionally you, Kurtis.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, you pay me so highly for it that it works out pretty well. Which would be
$10 super chats.
Yeah. No.
That's an Omnidog's vault.
Thank you for asking, but I really I don't. It's just not enough hours in the day.
I did promote this show.
Jess, I'm always promoting you, buddy. Whenever somebody asks me, like, Omar, if you don't do an overview, who can I go and watch? I'm like, well, first you go and watch Mad Dog from the UK. And I have a list, but you're on that list.
He doesn't mention you. You're just 27th.
Yeah, absolutely. BJ, and then you want BJ Kicks. And there was a guy that made 3 videos a couple of years ago. He doesn't do them anymore, but he's on the list too. And underneath that dude. All right, let's get started, everybody.
This guy had his Amazonian mother place a ancient Peruvian curse on me yesterday. I am lucky I'm alive.
Because you get smart with me through text message, man.
Get smart with you.
Were
you in 3rd grade?
It's for real.
When you've had as many, Jess, when you've had so many curses as you have, don't you just build up a tolerance to it?
Yeah,
it's like cigarettes.
They bounce off me now.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I'm gonna forward him to Mad Dog.
I appreciate that. All right, moving on.
Okay.
1961, 1962. What's next? 1963. I announced this a couple of months ago. This is July 1963 with 2 big books happening that month, and that's the Avengers and X-Men. And I love that cover there by Javier Rodriguez. That's the standard edition cover, but these are the 2 DMs. So July 1963, collecting this really interesting era. I assume I assume this might be the last one, because by now most of the stuff that has never been collected has kind of faded away. We're making ways for the superheroes, right? Right now we have let's see, Journey to Mystery 96, modeling with Millie, Patsy and Hetty, annual number 1 of that. Avengers number 1, Amazing Spider-Man number 5, Patsy Walker 109, Rawhide Kid number 36, Fantastic Four 19 and annual number 1, Sergeant Fury number 3, Strange Tales 113, Tales of Suspense 46, Tales to Astonish 48, X-Men number 1, Kathy 25, Kid Cold Outlaw 113, Millie the Model 117, and Two Gun Kid 66. So there are some of those books that have never been collected. That have never been collected. And, a lot of the stuff has Avengers, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Journey to Mystery, X-Men, all that stuff has been collected before. But then we have Kathy and modeling with Millie. I know that there are people that would love to see that. Me, myself, I love to see some Westerns like the Two Gun Kid and the Rawhide Kid and Kid Outlaw.
I'm going to speak up for Millie the Model and Patsy Walker. I would buy collected editions of those.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that would. They've never done masterworks, nor epics, nor essentials of that stuff. And this is the first time they've been collected anywhere. I mean, these are really cool. I mean, I selfishly, I want something like March 1978 for some reason. What about you, Omnidog? Not to age yourself, but what month and date would you take?
Month and date, I would take. Oh, this is Marvel. Let's see. I would take. I would take March of 2020 because I've already forgotten everything that I read back then.
That is such an obscure collection. All right, Kurtis.
Is that the debut of Gwenpool?
That's the beginning of the coronavirus, where books just did not get published.
Yeah.
What about you, Kurtis? What would you take?
Oh man, that's such a hard question. I would go further back, something in like 1955 or something like that.
Ooh.
Let's
Very
get some
nice.
like the 1950s Captain America and whatever else came out that month. All of those monster titles and such.
What about you, Lars?
I mean, kind of you to ask. I don't really think about things in those terms. I prefer to read series, and just because something happened to come out that month doesn't mean I'm necessarily interested in it. So yeah, I tend to not buy things bundled by date, but if people like it, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody said July 2003. Did they do trouble? What's wrong with Rick Ray? Black Cat Omnibus.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very happy about this. I'm very happy to see Jed
awesome.
McKay's name on an omnibus.
Yeah.
I love that. Black Cat by Jed McKay. Collecting Black Cat 1 through 12, annual number 1, the 2020 series Black Cat 1 through 10, and Giant Size Black Cat Infinity Score, Iron Cat 1 through 5, and material from Free Comic Book Day 2020, Spider-Man Venom, and Black Cat annual. For the people that have asked me, if I would have asked Marvel to add the Mary Jane and Black Cat series, they said no. They didn't say why, but I'm assuming because of the recent solicitations, there's another series with Black Cat and Mary Jane. So maybe they have plans. I don't know. For them.
I am super pumped for this omnibus.
Yeah, I was pushing the trades, and I'm glad that they're doing an omnibus.
This is great. It is a great run that is underrated, underread, and needs to be promoted on a channel like Very Fine Condition.
That's not that's not really a channel like at all. Spider-GWEN, oh my gosh, that Ian Hugh Lee cover, my goodness.
Yeah.
I love that thing. All right, 2 direct market covers right here, and then your standard edition cover. So this is the Ghost Spider Omnibus, collecting Spider-GWEN, Ghost Spider 1 through 10, Spider-Geddon, the Ghost Spider video comic, Ghost Spider 1 through 10, Annual 1, King in Black, Venom versus Carnage 1 through 3. That's where that image comes from. And Web Warriors 1 through 11. Material from Amazing Spider-Man number 1. 824 pages, $100. So this is a... Don't know why I'm looking back there. This is a direct follow-up to the Spider-GWEN Omnibus.
Okay.
This is when she changes her name to Ghost Spider.
Very excited about that.
Uh-oh. Looky.
Ultimate X-Men.
Here comes
No, it's Ultimate Comics X-Men. Ultimate Comics X-Men. Interesting. Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 2.
Who would have thought?
2 covers. You have the David Finch cover there and the Andy Kubert cover. This is the Brian Michael Bendis era. You also have Brian K. Vaughan writing some of the stories in here, and the beginning of the Robert Kirkman stuff.
I think so.
Yeah, because it goes all the way to 74. So collecting Ultimate X-Men 34 to 74, annual number 1 and 2. Ultimate X-Men Fantastic Four 1 and Ultimate Fantastic Four X-Men number 1. 1,160 pages, $125.
And the Ultimate range was quite good for a long time. I mean, eventually it really turns into rotten fruit. But when it was good, wow, this is some good stuff.
When it was good, it was outselling the 616 by a mile.
Yeah.
I mean, we had rumors for a long time that they were going to cancel the 616 books and make these exclusive to like Walmart. I think Wizard Magazine and Lying in the Gutter started those rumors. Lars.
I can't be held to blame for everything they did.
But it's a very believable rumor because, I mean, the books were just outselling the 616 universe like crazy.
Yeah. They put some of their very best talent on it. I mean, these writers at the time were doing some of their best work. The artists were fantastic. It's a good run. I have to confess, it's heresy to say I wasn't fond of Robert Kirkman's run on this. I thought that was where it started to go off. But
I think a lot of people would agree with that. And then by the tail end of it, that's nail in the coffin with Ultimatum. But this, you're right about the art, man. This does have David Finch, Brandon Peterson, Andy Kubert, Stuart Eminem, Steve Dillon, Tom Rainey. My goodness, Ben Oliver, Salvador La Roca, Lionel Francis Yu, Pasquale Ferry. Stefan Peru, I think that some of the colors in this too, and he passed away a few years ago. I hope for the next volume, if they do it, which I assume one day they probably will, I hope they use issue 75. I love that cover by Michael Turner.
Yeah.
I did not know that Brian K. Vaughan wrote Ultimate X-Men. He wrote 6 issues, and he wrote, not to give any spoilers, one of the best. best
The
twist
death
on
of Magneto.
on a villain.
Oh,
Dude,
sorry.
that's where the line comes from. What's Professor X's arch? Or who's Professor Xavier's greatest arch nemesis or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer, anyway.
Yeah.
I thought that was
no. Bendis had a good run, and yeah, Vaughn's stuff was good too. Vaughn's stuff was really good as well.
He did the Long Shot series too, or the Long Shot issues.
I would have been happy if it had stopped with Brian K. Vaughan, but I'll buy it regardless. Yeah.
So 1,160 pages, $125.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna please a lot of people. Yeah.
Mark likes, but I didn't say I hated him. I can appreciate the good writing. All right, Immortal Hulk. Holy crap! You all asked me to add if they would add Gamma Flight in there, and they said yes.
Nice.
You know why? Because I just bought that trade because I heard it wasn't going to be in this.
I told you which trades to buy. I didn't tell you, dude. Hold on a second. I got to give a shout out to my dude, Michael. I haven't seen you in such a while, man. How are you? And that was the answer, by the way. All right, Immortal Hulk Omnibus. 2 covers, both of them by the legendary Alex Ross, who supplied the cover for every single issue of this run, collecting all 50 issues. Issue number 0. This is going to be. Is it the biggest book? I can't remember how big Avengers is. Avengers versus X-Men, I'm sorry. Immortal Hulk, the best defense. Defenders, the best defense. Absolute Carnage, Immortal Hulk. Immortal She-Hulk, one shot. King in Black, Immortal Hulk. Gamma Flight, 1 through 5. Material from Avengers 684. And Time of Monsters. That's a biggie. That's a big book.
How many pages is it?
1,592 pages. $150. That's huge. That's a lot thicker than a Snicker. That's thicker than a stack of divorce papers, man. That is a big book. Like
only you would know that.
Yes, I have never pondered the size of divorce papers.
Well, I hope you all never do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be big. Wow. But according to our folks here, they are saying that AVX is over 1,600 pages. AVX and Squirrel Girl beat it. Puny Hulk got beat by Squirrel Girl. We got to add more pages in there.
He is unbeatable.
We got to add more pages in this sucker. AVX is still 1,688 pages. Woo!
Wow. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh, that's a big book. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, To Heaven Through Hell, Volume 4. I believe this is the run that leads directly into Devil's Reign, 31 through 36, and Daredevil Woman Without Fear, 1 through 3, and Elektra 100. I think I've teased about this one for a while now, and here's the actual solicits with the cover.
Nice.
$39.99, 264 pages, and here is the Omnibus reprint. What did you all think of this series?
I hated it.
Hated it. Okay.
Really? I love I've only read the first series and I loved it. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm. Lars?
I have to confess, I didn't automatically read this one because I'm not automatically into zombies, although I do really like the Walking Dead comic. But when they did the zombies episode of the What If cartoon, that I thought was really good.
I liked the 4th series and I think the 5th series of this run. Those were written by Fred Van Lente. So this collects the original Marvel Zombies, the 5-issue minis, Marvel Zombies 2, Marvel Zombies Return minis, Marvel Zombies 3, Marvel Zombies 4, Marvel Zombies 5, the Marvel Zombies Supreme series, Dead Days, Marvel Apes Primate, Marvel Zombies Evil Evolution, Ultimate Fantastic Four 21 through 23, and 30 through 32. That's why you see Mark Miller's name there, because that's where this zombie world first appeared in Ultimate FF. So that's a lot of miniseries. $125, 1,200 pages.
It's just missing the Army of Darkness one because of licensing issues.
Wasn't there a one-shot that they did? I want to say there was a one-shot they did, and it was imprinted in the first Omnibus and not in this one either, because this is exactly what the first Omni was. Yeah, I know Army of Darkness, which I guess makes sense. Yeah, I saw that the thing got pulled, and so did Absolute Multiversity, which I was kind of looking to get confused in Absolute format. Those were pulled until December, I believe. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sell, Spider-Man Gallery Edition. So this is getting a Gallery Edition, a book that's been out of print. The Omnibus is out of print. All the trades are out of print of Spider-Man Blue. So this is the Gallery Edition. And 168 pages, $50, collecting Spider-Man Blue. These are the bigger books, the hardcover books that they've done Weapon X. They've done classic stories, but yeah, I think this also has a direct market cover. It says not final art.
This is good stuff. It's a little quieter than you might expect. It's a smaller story, but it's nice that way. You know, Jeff and Tim.
I love it.
Yeah. Jeff and Tim can do small stories really, really well.
This is the latest one that comes out. I think it comes out in December. This is the Wedding Album Gallery Edition. Yeah. So this will be and then we have never mind. I'll keep that a secret for now. Somebody was talking about gallery editions. All right, Marvel Masterworks Captain America Volume 15. And J.M. DeMatteis, David Anthony Kraft, David Michelinie, Mike Zeck. Oh, is this the beginning of that era, Kurtis?
Probably.
Yep.
261 to 269, annual number 5, and Defenders 106.
This is the stuff right after Roger Stern and John Byrne did their short run, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, 288 pages, $75.
This was a great run. The DeMatteis Captain America is a lot of fun. Great story.
Yeah. Wow, Mike Zeck's artwork, man. He was just firing on all cylinders. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man, Volume 6 at Death's Door. Oops, spoilers. Collecting Spectacular Spider-Man 67 and 79. 336 pages, $75. Michael Emmons saying the Gene Colan annual in that collection is one of my favorite Cap issues. Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 1 Part 2. Season 1 Part 1 comes out in November, and this is Part 2. So this is an adaptation of the hit series by Rodney Barnes and Georges Genty, who he did Weapon X, but I know that they got him to do Buffy because he was really good at like capturing people, like realistic, like actors and actresses' faces. And New Mutants by Vita Ayala. Well, not by Vita Ayala. Interesting. Volume 4. And collecting New Mutants 29 through 33. Yeah.
The New Mutants run has been uneven, but when it's been good, it's been good. Absolutely.
I do like the fact they still have Rod Reyes drawing it, I believe. Maybe not in this one here. It has a very Sienkiewicz look to his art style.
Yeah.
Trials of X Volume 7. Speaking of Rod Reyes, I believe that's Rod Reyes. Yeah, covered by Rod Reyes. Collecting X-Men 4, New Mutants 22 and 23, and Wolverine 17 through 18. Damage Control. I didn't even know about this series.
Yeah.
New Employee Handbook. Huh. Issues 1 through 5 of Damage Control that came out in 2022.
That would be a lot of fun to write.
I don't know. I was always those were always fun series, the Damage Control miniseries.
Yeah. Adam
Goldberg, Hans Rode. Oh my goodness. Kurtis, a little help here?
I don't know.
Kurtis, don't embarrass me, Kurtis. I invite you on the show for a reason.
It's Adam Goldberg.
Nailed it.
All right, Will Robson.
Charlotte Fullerton. Yeah.
I've not heard of this. Has anybody read it out there in single issues?
No, I'm afraid not.
I'd like to know what you all think. Moon Knight. This is the Jen McKay series, which I really have been enjoying. Volume 3, collecting Moon Knight 13 through 18. Have you been reading this, Jess?
I'm waiting for the hardcover.
Never gonna happen.
Hardcover.
Never gonna happen. You know how that's going to happen. The only way we're gonna get a hardcover is if you buy all of the trade paperbacks.
Oh, I hate that I have this power. It costs me so much money.
Yeah, I know, but we love it.
Damn it. All right.
Moon Knight, annual number 1. Dude, you're missing out. It's really good. I really like it.
Yeah, I'll read it on Marvel Unlimited until the hardcover comes out.
I've been touched over the years by like efforts to keep Alpha Flight alive, because for Alpha Flight fans, they're like, well, if every Canadian fan could just buy like 2 extra copies of it, we can keep it alive. And it's like, I don't think the math works out that way.
He wrote 2 years of Ultimate X-Men?
He
Really?
did actually, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I was sitting here very politely, trying not to mention that, but yeah.
No, please correct me. Look, yesterday we admitted to our mistakes that we made.
Oh no,
me and Kurtis, yeah. Him a lot more than I do, though.
Well, naturally.
For every 10, it's 1 for me.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
I'm a big person for admitting that.
As I say, I made a mistake once about 10 years ago, and I'm probably due for another. So,
Are you married, Lars?
Am I married?
Yeah.
I've been married for 20 years.
Okay, then you've made a lot of mistakes, and you're getting called on them all the time. So don't say any of that.
Adam Goldberg is the Goldberg show creator, so it's him writing comics. Thank you for that. Okay,
well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a great show.
I've tried watching season 1. For some reason, I stopped. Thunderbolts back on target, collecting issues 1 through 5 of Thunderbolts. Hold on a second. I thought they had another Thunderbolts.
I like that team.
I like that cover.
Yeah,
by, David Nakayama. Because the cover that I remember seeing had like I was making a joke about America Chavez's forehead, like it looked like a 5 head because it was so big. So it wasn't. I don't think it was this. This must be another miniseries. Jim's Up. I do like Jim's Up.
Thunderbolts from the outside. I mean, like I perceive it's good, but it's gone through so many iterations at this point. I do find it a bit baffling to try to jump back into. But
I got you, man. I did a reading order of Thunderbolts, and this is video stuff. This new Thunderbolts mini has been fun so far. Okay, I believe.
Yeah, Rick keeps up on singles a lot.
The Sinister event OHC for Reign of X-Men leaked on Amazon. It leaked yesterday, actually. Woke NATO. It did the Sins of Sinister, which I'm very excited to read.
Yeah.
The X-Men are going to fall hard. Wolverine X-Men Deluxe Edition trade paperback. These are interesting that they call them Deluxe Edition, I think, because they add more to the story, but it's the exact same content as the Gallery Edition. 200 pages, $29.99.
So this is gallery sized.
No,
it's not the gallery sized. No,
it is just a trade paperback.
Okay.
Because they did that with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like not Gallery Edition, Deluxe Edition trade paperback, and it was just a trade with a couple. They added the Uncanny X-Men stories to the 4 issues of Wolverine. Star-Lord, the saga of Peter Quill, collecting Star-Lord 1 through 5, Thanos 7 through 12. Interesting that they're collecting that. That's the Keith Giffen stuff. Wow.
Hey, can you highlight New Spooey at 133? Because that's something I've actually read. It's great.
It's good.
I really enjoyed it a lot.
But the biggest secret in that, the mystery, doesn't get resolved because he leaves the book and then Sean McKeever takes over. So while it starts off really good, kind of like,
I wasn't going to mention that because I wanted him to go out and buy it.
Dude, that complete collection's out of print, isn't it?
I know. I wanted him to go on eBay and get it for $300.
Who are you? Do you have one for sale? Is this what you do?
Maybe. No, I don't. It's really good though, New Spooey. The part Omar's right about BKV writing a really good Mystique.
Yeah, that was one of the what were they called? Tsunami waves, right? The first issue, that Runaways and Venom, Sentinel, and
Human Torch.
Human Torch, yeah, they were trying to cash in on this manga that they kept hearing about. So they were very manga-ish type of books. I think the only one that survived out of all that was Runaways. $39.99, 384 pages. Guardians of the Galaxy by Donny Cates. So this is the complete collection. The same material that you found in his oversized hardcover and collecting issues 1 through 12, Guardians of the Galaxy annual number 1. Is there anything bad by Brian K. Vaughan? He does not.
I've never found it. I mean, you know, some of his stuff is more successful than others, but I don't think I ever have read a bad comic by him.
I agree.
Michael Emmett, I didn't hate. I actually liked Ex Machina.
I loved Ex Machina up until the end. I thought that the
ending was kind of rough,
but it's not one of my favorite series that I go out and try to find.
No, but I did read the whole thing, and I mean, if it hadn't been good, I would have stopped halfway through.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Pride of Baghdad is one of my favorite Vaughn books.
I don't know that I can reread that.
That
was a great read, but oofa. I mean, it is great, but that's just not. I don't know.
Love animals, stay away.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on your taste, because I have some viewers that hate Brian K. Vaughan's writing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, there's always
to each their own.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for everybody, and I get it.
Someone was asking about his mystique, and like I remember his mystique it's fine. I didn't think it was his best, but it's fine. Yeah.
I completely forgot about it until somebody asked about that.
Yeah, but has he written an actively bad one? I've never come across it.
His Batman, that was pretty cool. The Faceless one, that one was cool with Wonder Woman, Scott McDaniel on artwork.
See, and I liked his Swamp Thing run. Rick Ray didn't, but I enjoyed that with whatever Swamp Thing's daughter's name is.
Oh, that one I think for me, would be right there with Ex Machina. Didn't love it, but it was good.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, that is a good question. Like, because I really do it. Lars is bored, man. He's like, I'm
interviewing an empty chair.
Yeah, wow. Lars, Norwegian assassin, professional. This moment, don't forget to smash that like button, everybody, please. That helps with our YouTube algorithm. All right, Daredevil, the man without fear, Kurtis. It's your time to shine, buddy.
Yep. This is volume 6. This is the Black Widow era, where Black Widow got to share the byline with Daredevil, even though it's not technically her book, but she was there. What is this? Collecting 108 to 132, Marvel 2-in-1 number 3. So yeah, it's classic stuff. A lot of Gene Colan in there.
Quickly, sorry, I had to dash off. Got a phone call. As I mentioned, tragically, I have to jet a little early today. Because I so many people need me. It's ridiculous. If you're still going at 20 after the hour, perhaps I'll join you then. But yeah, thank you very much.
You never know, Lars. You're always welcome back. You got the link, so you just come.
I do. Hopefully I'll be back at 20 after the hour, but we'll see. So sorry, being pulled in different directions.
Sure,
good to see you, buddy.
Bye, man.
See ya.
Man, I hate that guy. No, I'm just kidding. By the way, I say that every time somebody leaves. He's the worst. So no, this is not the Ann Nocenti run. Kurtis, how do you pronounce her name? I feel like you've interviewed her, right?
I have not interviewed her, but I'm pretty sure it's just Nocenti.
Okay. Because I've heard people say Nocenti, and I've heard people say Nocenti. Jess, what about you?
I say Nocenti.
You're a big Legion of Superheroes fans. You would know.
I pronounce it Pharaoh Lad.
I miss Lars as much as I miss Taco Bell. Yeah. Omar, will we ever see a Marvel Gargoyles collected editions? I can say I actually talked to the new license holders of that, and they are very excited about all kinds of collections. And that was one of the questions. Unfortunately, that question was answered off the record, so I can't say anything.
You can say it here. Nobody's watching. What was
shut up? You're the worst. So I'm excited for the new era. By the way, the new era of Gargoyles is going to be published by Dynamite, and as well as Darkwing Duck is going to be published by Dynamite. So they're very they're very blessed. They feel really happy about it, and they're going to treat that IP properly. So hope to see them for a long time. Stay over there. This is for fun. Thank you so much. Rank all the Guardians of the Galaxy Omnis best to worst, Josh. Josh, you know I hate talk, but you paid me, so I'll do it. Everybody's got a buying price. Okay, sure. You know, I will let my guests go first. Kurtis, you're the big guy with the Omnis. Why don't you tell us best to worst Omni?
Best one is the classic stuff, classic material.
Classic material.
I don't know.
Bad.
I haven't read. I've read the DNA Guardians of the Galaxy, and I've read the classic stuff. That's all I can really rank. I can't place the others anywhere else. So
the whole chat will sign an NDA. I love that. I feel like you've read a lot, right, Jess, of the Guardians?
Yeah, and people are going to hate on me because I like Bendis's run, and everybody hates it. All
right, so that
down to 2. There we go.
I hate that guy.
I better watch my mouth.
I'm kidding. I've never wanted to shut people up. All right.
I
Right, man, this is just your opinion, dude.
love the DNA run. The classic stuff. I just moved them upstairs, so I don't have them in front of me, and I always need a visual reminder. I think it goes DNA, Bendis, classic stuff, except that I also did like Donny Cates, his small run. That was also really good.
Mm-hmm.
But you needed I felt for Donny Cates, you needed to be up to date on a lot of stuff going on outside it. So
Yeah, that's true. I tried reading the Donny Cates stuff. I read the first few issues and I think I need to go back further and figure some stuff out.
It's not that good of a standalone, but
it definitely is on the tail end of the Duggan Infinity War story and the Duggan Guardians, because it's like it's the funeral of a character. I'm not going to spoil who that they're all meeting at, so I understand.
Yeah, and I might be the only one out there, but I didn't particularly care for I love Duggan's writing generally, like on Deadpool and stuff, but I didn't really dig that Guardians of the Galaxy run of his.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can keep going. For me, really quick, from best to worst, right? Let me double check because I don't want to.
Start with worst because that's more fun. Best
to worst. No. Best to worst. More fun. Worst. Yes. Brian Michael Bendis. And then Jerry Duggan. And then the classic Guardians omnibus that came out. Yeah. After that, I would say the Jim Valentino era. I really like it.
Oh, yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
After that would be the Al Ewing era. No, Donny Cates era. I really like Donny Cates. It does take some knowledge of things that were going on, but I liked it. And then Al Ewing, which no one talks about. It is so fun. It's so good.
Is that collected?
Yeah. Did I say Jerry Duggan? Because I would have put Jerry Duggan after. No, I did. But yeah, Al Ewing is trade paperbacks right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they ended with that big crossover, The Last Annihilation trade paperback, which I liked it. But yeah, number one for me, DNA. Like that, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Those books were so amazing. And to read them as a whole saga, like the whole cosmic saga, not just Guardians, just how did they come up with all of this? And I'm very envious of the people that get to read those stories for the first time with Annihilation, even though that wasn't DNA, that was mainly Keith Giffen and then Jim Starlin. But we also, leading into Annihilation Conquest, that's when DNA came on board. So, all right. Good question. I like that. Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, The Lone and Level Sands. Kurtis, what's the selling point on this one? Tell me about this one, Kurtis.
This the selling point is a very, very small run by Joe Casey that followed up Peter David's run that isn't collected anywhere. So
that's the selling point.
Yeah.
So if let's say I had the omnibus, would I be satisfied with that omnibus? And I don't need this if I had the fourth omnibus by Peter David.
Well, if you are just a Peter David fan and you're buying it for Peter David, you would be fine with it. But if you are an Incredible Hulk fan, you'll probably want that last little bit there that that ties up the end of the Incredible Hulk's main series before it gets kind of relaunched and rebooted.
Yeah, so his run ends with 466. So here we have the Joe Casey era, like Kurtis just mentioned, taking us all the way to 474 before. Was it? Yeah, John Byrne said, I got this. He came and relaunched it with a new number one, but Joe Casey ended the run. And they even included the 98 annuals here, the Hulk and Submariner annual and X-Men and Hulk annual 98. So
you got two annuals that year?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Like, that's what they were doing. They were doing these, like...
pairing them up with other... Yeah, I remember people shared annuals that year, but I didn't.
Yeah, the X-Men were sharing annuals. It's very sad to see that this wasn't added to the omnibus. I tried. I was like, but it's not been collected anywhere.
Yeah,
And
it's
David
like, but
said,
it's not doesn't have Peter David's name on it, so it can't
and
be there.
then David said, "Well, it might be." And then I found out about this. I'm like, "Oh, that's what he meant." Yeah, okay. Yeah, but yeah, I know it doesn't have Peter David's name, but I'm a completist. All right, next up, Doctor Strange collection, Triumph and Torment, best Doctor Strange
This,
story ever, and Doctor Doom
this
story.
one went out of print pretty quickly, so we are getting a new printing of this classic era. This is 90s or 80s, I guess, late 80s Doctor Strange
This is the
by
Peter
Peter B.
Gillis,
Gillis and
Roy
Roy Thomas.
Thomas, yeah, and of course Uncle Raj writing that Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment. Mike Mignola doing the artwork in that. That would be awesome. Wait, did you miss the Annihilation Conquest Omni? Wait, yeah, that came out already. Yeah,
No.
Byrne didn't stick around very long because after he left the book, it was Paul Jenkins. And then after Paul Jenkins, it was Bruce Jones. I like what Bruce Jones did with that series. That's an omnibus I want. Fantastic Four Epic Collection, Volume 3, The Coming of Galactus. Regarded as
This
the
one,
best Fantastic Four stories, guys, probably by a lot of people.
I think, yeah, this volume and volume 4 are just like, I think the peak of the Lee Kirby stuff. And so this one is just, I think, always going to be in print. This is like I think the third time it's been printed. So like the fourth printing.
Mm-hmm. And
They'll just bump
what
it
I
up.
always like to remind people is that with reprints of epics, try to get them if you're at all interested that first week because they go fast. There's not a big
Yeah,
reprints.
Fantastic
They
Four
are.
epics, or just
Any
epics?
epic reprint that they do.
Oh, okay.
It's a smaller reprint than something like an omnibus. An omnibus will stick around for a little bit these days, but epics still they just go.
Mm.
Yes, because Annihilation reprint was not announced by the time Annihilation Conquest was releasing, so it did not make sense buying Volume 2 without. Dude, you got to jump while the jumping is hot. Did somebody say Mark Waid? Did I say Mark Waid? About what?
Oh, Fantastic Four?
Oh.
Well, we were talking about the Lee Kirby stuff.
Yeah, the Lee Kirby stuff.
I agree.
My favorite FF is, yes, Mark Waid. But I think to a lot of people, those are the best Fantastic Four stories. Dude, what's up, Dawson? First time watching it live. Thank you for being here, man.
Oh, if it's your first time, you need to super chat $100 to us.
Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't listen to this guy. He chose Brian Michael Bendis as Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't listen to those people.
It was the top 3. It wasn't number 1.
You put him at the top. Carnage Epic Collection, Web of Carnage. Kurtis, why is our buddy Phil going to be so excited about this one?
Yeah, because it's chock full of carnage. This is all of the stuff that happened after Maximum Carnage, including the Web of Carnage storyline, which is when Ben Reilly gets the symbiote, gets taken over the symbiote. That was a pretty popular one. A couple of one shots by who was it? Warren Ellis. A couple of Warren Ellis Carnage one shots called Carnage Mind Bomb and Carnage It's a Wonderful Life. And those didn't have the comic code on them at the time, and that was a pretty rare thing for Marvel. But they were pretty violent.
Weren't they also collected in the?
Actually, one of them did have the comic code because I remember Danny Fingeroth wrote an article about times that he almost got fired, and he accidentally put the comic code logo on the cover of one of those, and it shouldn't have been there because it was not approved because it was very violent, and he got in big trouble for that.
About what year was that, Kurtis? Can you ballpark?
97, about 97, 98.
And when did they just do away with that seal?
2001.
That was during
Okay.
Yeah, during the Ecstatics run or X-Force. Yeah. When X-Force was Ecstatics was when they got rid of that.
It was well, they did away with it right before that. Like they did away with it during like Morrison's run on New X-Men. And you're right, it was like the Mike Allred and Peter Milligan X-Force run. X-Force 116 I don't think has a comics code because it just jumps right into violence. Like so towards the end of Warren Ellis's run of it on X-Force. Yeah, they were done. That's why things became a little bit edgier in the Ultimate Universe. Carnage, those are in the Carnage Classics. Thank you so much.
That's right. This is pretty much, I think, almost all of the Carnage Classic stuff is in here, except for there's a story with the Silver Surfer that's not in this collection, and one of the Web Spinners issues is not in this one.
Isn't it also in the Spider-Man versus Venom Omnibus? Like some of the stuff that's in here, the minis.
Oh yeah, some of them. The all of the super special issues, that was a Planet of the Symbiotes storyline. That's in one of the Venomnibuses.
I hope not Venomnibus 2.
That's Jess's biggest regret. It was selling Venomnibus Volume 2.
Omar made me buy it
before it went out of print.
Told me to sell it.
I did not tell you to sell it.
You made so much fun of me for buying it.
I make fun of you a lot. Okay.
Well, that's true. I shouldn't even have a book in my collection. You make fun of everything I read.
No, I don't. I like your X-Men. Marvelverse, Guardians of the Galaxy. Collecting Guardians Team Up 1 and 2. That is a really interesting collection. Guardians of the Galaxy Dream On. Guardians of the Galaxy Galaxy's Most Wanted. And all new Guardians of the Galaxy. So probably because of the movie, Volume 3, is why we're getting this. And the Marvelverse books are kind of like dipping your toes into these characters. Editors choose some of the best stories that represent the characters. And look, Brian Michael Bendis made it on there. Woohoo! So you were right, Jess. Nova. This is the graphic novel. They're doing graphic novels of Nova. I hope this leads into a Sam Alexander omnibus. Because we're getting a classic Richard Rider omnibus, and now I want the Jeff Loeb and it's Paco Medina. No, Ed McGuinness that created the character. Yeah, Jeff Loeb, Seb Wells writing Nova, collecting issues 1 through 9, plus material from Point 1, Marvel Now, and Nova number 10. Now, this stuff has only been collected in thin trade paperbacks. Those are out of print, and this is one of the smaller scale books.
Every book that you've highlighted, Warren Weaver has said, meh. I'm just wondering what he would get excited about.
Warren Weaver likes Bendis, which cracks me up. Like he was.
Every book he said, meh.
Yeah. I'm used to him.
I wonder what he likes.
So we'll go back to the beginning, but before we do, I just want to remind people to check out Walt's Comic Shop, based out of Berlin, Germany. You just go to waltzcomicshop.com and you use the code NearMint-Condition at the checkout for free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of 40 euros or more. Otherwise, it's a flat rate shipping of 12 euros for all EU countries. And that is waltzcomicshop.com. Your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting. My wife would be disappointed that I did not sing that song. All right, we're going to go through this list really quick, and then we're going to pick our favorite books that we are looking forward to. Starting the list off with 1963, July 1963. It's the beginning of the superhero era. Well,
there's my favorite.
The holy crap, we're getting rid of all the other books except for superhero era. Black Cat by Jed McKay, Omnibus. Which cover, Jess? Just out of curiosity. Thank you, please. Hot. That's Pepe Larraz, I believe.
Boy, I like that. Yeah. That's the regular one? And that's the DM?
Yeah, this is the standard, and then this is the direct.
I like the standard. That's provocative and cool.
Provocative, yeah. Off topic, but have the King in Black Omni covers changed? I believe they have. This is the direct market one. I got it in a couple weeks ago, and I've showed it on my live stream before. So I did ask Marvel if they can send me the Dust Jacket files so I could share them on our social media so people can be updated on what they look like now. And I'm sorry, I should have highlighted me. Hold on a second. There we go. This is the new direct market cover of the King in Black. And there's Null right there.
Look how big.
And yeah, this is a biggie too. This one's big.
That's a big book.
That's a chonky one.
And let's exit Zolo layout. All right. So that's coming out as well as Spider-GWEN, Ghost Spider Omnibus. and Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. So thank you for asking about that, Robert, because I believe they have changed. And Immortal Hulk Omnibus. This is going to be hard to pick one book. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky to Heaven Through Hell, Volume 4. Marvel's Omnibus. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sells, Spider-Man Gallery Edition. Beautiful story and a big oversized format like it rightly deserves to be in. Marvel Masterworks Captain America Volume 15. And Marvel Masterworks Spectacular Spider-Man number 6. Mandalorian Season 1 Part 2, collecting issues 5 through 8 of Star Wars The Mandalorian. And we're also getting New Mutants Volume 4. It's no longer called by Vita Ayala, I assume, because there's other writers that are working on the book. Trials of X Volume 7, Damage Control New Employee Handbook, written by the co-creator of the Goldberg, right, Jess?
That's what the chat says.
Yes, that's what the chat's
chat's always right.
Moon Knight, Volume 3, Halfway to Sanity.
Yeah, I'll buy those trades. All right, all right.
All right, here comes your Moon Knight by Jen McKay Omnibus. no, it's going to be when you're about to read them.
Yeah, exactly.
And after Volume 1 goes out of print, and you're like, should I get these, Omar? Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Back on target.
That is so true. Everything you said is 100% true.
How many times has that happened? You texted me going, I'm on the fence about this, and I'm always like, do it. And you end up buying it. Then a month later, I'm announcing an omnibus. Wolverine, Weapon X, and I didn't know. I swear. Weapon X Deluxe Edition. This is just a trade paperback with extra issues. Star-Lord, the saga of Peter Quill, showcasing some of the Star-Lord issues that focus heavily on who the character is. So you have the mini-series, or that's the ongoing series, the Sam Humphrey stuff. But the Keith Giffen Thanos edition in here, that is a really interesting edition, because that is kind of the setup to the first Annihilation. And Conquest Star-Lord 1 through 4, which is so good. I love that story. And then Guardians of the Galaxy by Brian Michael Bendis, 0.1. Donny Cates getting a complete collection, fat trade of his Guardians of the Galaxy run. And then Daredevil Epic Collection, watch out for Bullseye. Boy, that guy
who's not on the cover.
That guy doesn't listen, though.
Where is he? Watch out for him.
Yeah, and same thing happened with Wolverine. Here comes the Wolverine. Not on the cover or the back cover.
He's coming somewhere.
Incredible Hulk Epic Collection. So if you're a fan of or just a completist, this is the one you need, because it does a little bit of double dipping, but it does end that Hulk run. Doctor Strange Epic Collection, Triumph and Torment. Yes. Fantastic Four Epic Collection, Volume 3, Coming of Galactus, collecting issues 33 to 51 and annual number 3. Carnage, Web of Carnage. And Kurtis went through a whole spiel about why you should buy that. Marvel vs. Guardians of the Galaxy and Nova graphic novel. Please don't forget to smash that like button. Let's go back to the beginning. And you gentlemen and everyone else in the chat, what is the one book you're most excited for? I'll let my guests answer first. Go ahead, guess.
I defer to...
I just... Oh, yeah.
I was going to let Kurtis go.
Both
Okay.
are so bad at this.
Black Cat. I have all the trades, but I don't think I have some of that other extra material in it, it sounds like. So I'm going to get that. And I really, really want to promote the heck out of that book, because it is, as I said earlier, under the radar. And I don't know that many people are reading it. And I'm really excited that Marvel chose it to be an Omni, because that means they really recognize. I don't know how it works with how the companies choose an omnibus, if it's sales or whether they think it's good or readers' requests. But this is a great run, and it really deserves to be read by everybody.
Hey, Doug, how are you, brother? I agree. I think it's an excellent, underrated run, and I'm glad, because usually when a book like that, if it had stayed in trade paperback format, I think it would have been a series that would have been forgotten. But when you have an omnibus, you're going to have more eyes on it. You know, just that word alone and the format alone gets people to
that's
actually,
a good point.
Purchase a book just because of the format. What about you, Kurtis? So you're a big fan of Black Cat. Kurtis, what about you, buddy?
Probably not going to get either of those covers. I actually, you know what? I started reading that first series and I didn't care for it, so I stopped. But maybe I should get a.
All right, I did it before. I'll do it again. This is a
It's
positive
happened to
story.
everybody now.
We don't need that negative crap on this show. And by negative, I mean when you disagree with me.
Oh man, that's
You
it. I'm
got
never
it.
coming back.
You got nailed.
All right, but I
Oh,
mean,
boy.
what are you most excited for?
You know what? I'm actually really excited for Spider-Man Blue, the gallery edition. I really,
man, a good
really am a
taste.
big fan of Tim Sale's artwork. And he changes, even though it doesn't look like it, he changes his techniques and the way he presents his panels and composition for each one of these color books. And like for every project that he does something slightly different. And for this one, he has a very particular graphic style of how he portrays the life of Peter Parker. And it's very, very good. I loved it when I bought the single issues, and I bought the oversized hardcover for this one. And this one, I like, it's an art book more than anything, having it this size. And so I think I'd go for it.
So this is something you definitely would upgrade to.
Yeah.
You like the story and the art that much.
The story is so good, and
Yeah.
the artwork, I really, really like his style.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm highlighting this question because I think this is a really excellent question that we can tackle later. But Rob's asking how profitable is single issues for Marvel versus collected editions right now. Yeah, no new Mighty Marvel Masterworks, but they're not done with that line. They're still doing it. Just they're probably skipping this month to catch up. This is an excellent story, and I agree with everything you said. I think it's one of those really touching retcon-y, but it's a good retcon, and I don't care because it was just so moving and beautiful. Especially that last page always hits me, man, every freaking time. And it means a lot more now that now that Tim Sale is gone. He poured a lot of himself into this. I'm curious what the variant cover is going to look like. God, honestly, I like that, even though it's blue.
I've
right?
never
I'm
seen
sure
that
it
image
might be
before.
blue. What's that?
I've never seen that image before.
I don't know if it was in the last collection or not, but maybe they'll make that blue because of what it's collecting in here. But this is absolutely a great recommendation. For me, if you've not read it, and if you want to work your arms out, Immortal Hulk. Like this book has everything, including some stuff that's not collected in the oversized hardcovers,
which I'm keeping. And I thought, and you're welcome for Gamma Flight being included in the Omnis just after I got it last month.
You did that. Okay. Well, thank you, Jess. I appreciate it. But this has everything. I mean, it is a Hulk of a book. $150, but 1,592 pages. It is a huge book with everything in it. So that's the one for me.
Yeah, that is a great read. I was super excited to read that first hardcover. I haven't been that excited about a book in a long time.
Yeah, it has
it's fantastic.
It has a little bit of everything, right? It has that feel of the 70s show. It has like that whole horror, like body horror in there too. And of course, it's got some superhero stuff, just a dash at first and then more and more. Yeah, I liked it, man. Oh, man. And then it kind of gets a little Alan Moore-ish about halfway through the run that I didn't see coming. I liked it.
There was halfway through is I almost actually gave up on it. But
what is with you? What's going on here, Kurtis? I thought we had something going, and then you just like,
what's happening up there?
I kept going.
I'm just kidding, buddy. Daredevil and Fantastic Four epics, Ultimate X-Men 2, Immortal X-Men is not on here. Where are you living? Are you in the future? Oh, Immortal Hulk. Okay. Black Cat, Immortal Hulk, and Weapon X. Immortal Hulk Omni for sure. Ultimate X-Men Nova. Look at that. A big fan of Sam Alexander
right now.
What's that?
They're kind of Immortal X-Men right now, right?
Yeah, there is an Immortal X-Men series. Still waiting on that Dazzling Dazzler boys. Man, Warren makes fun of everything I read, and then he throws Dazzler in my face.
You're going to get it because I bought all the masterworks of Dazzler.
That's why it's happening. Daredevil Epic Collection. Nova's Sam Alexander. I love it, man. Black Cat triumphing Torment by far.
Oh yeah.
Black Cat for sure. Everything Bendis. DJs. No. Okay, Immortal Hulk and Spider-Gwen. Go Spider for me. One day. Oh, I just said hi, Doug. Black Cat. Look at all this Black Cat love.
Warren Weaver liked something that I liked.
Yeah.
Man.
You guys get along really well, actually. He hates a lot of the stuff you hate, and you both love Bendis. The Spidey Blue Gallery Edition, Black Cat and the Hulk stuff, Black Cat. Moon Knight, Volume 3.
I got to start reading that.
But yeah, you need to go ahead and get those out of print books before they go out of print form. Based on prior reading knowledge, the Spider-Man Blue Gallery Edition. Marvel Mighty Masterworks. Oh, they're continuing. Daredevil by Zdarsky for sure. I already have the trades, but it's an excellent run. That it is. Immortal Hulk, Spider-Man Blue. Omar just tells them what to print, Jazz. I believe it involves pie charts. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. That's why we have an entire library of New Warriors and X-Men.
New Warriors.
It's all in the car. That's what I was trying to think. Is all of it in the Spider-Man or Venom versus Spider-Man omnibus? And I want to say most of it is. I'll have to double check. I
don't think those at least those Venom one-shots aren't there. I mean the Carnage one-shots.
Yes. Wish Marvel would just let McKay extend his run and not mini series Iron Cat. We'll be picking up the epic reprints, but Guardians of the Galaxy by Cates is standing out for me. Good to see some thicker collections with Ewing coming as well. Yes, I think that is next year. Zero, if money doesn't matter and I'm forced, nobody's forcing you, Rudy. I'll take Spider-Man Blue. Omnidog was back to being bottom guy for a moment.
Oh, don't go there, Rahul. What are you doing?
Let's see here. I think that's it. No news on Mighty Marvel Masterworks Spider-Man Volume 4. Not yet, buddy. Really surprised that they did not split Immortal Hulk volume into 2 volumes. They could have profited more. Dude, if they did that, then I'd be hearing about like all the people complaining, like, oh, those Steve. I'm honestly surprised too that they didn't, considering how popular this run was. But
it's going to be worth every penny, I think.
They just wanted a Hulk-size omnibus.
Hello, my dudes. What's up, Hondalorian? I love this
Hondalorian.
This dude gifted me that Phoenix that I usually have back here, but it's put up right now. Love how Omar and Jess talk smack to each other when everyone knows it's true bromance. It's not. I hate that guy.
Oh, my God. His mother put a curse on me yesterday.
Yes, she did.
I can feel where the pins went in the doll.
Omar, did you see the booth at New York Comic Con that had some $20 Omnis? I did, Sarah. It's the Gem City place. Oh. And then there was another little booth that had some $20 Omnis that one of my viewers actually went and got when I told him about it. He stopped shaking my hand because he was asking me about if I'd seen any. I'm like, yeah, there's a booth that has some for sale. He's like, oh man, it was good to meet you. Gotta go. I get it.
And then it turned out to be a whole box of Anita Blake. Vampire Hunter.
I don't think they ever made those. Oh, I can't wait to announce the Anita Blake omnibus. Spider-Man Blue and FF Epic line. No X-Men Volume 1 Remasterworks. No, that would be Masterworks are how many days? Hold on a second. Not days. I'm sorry, months ahead. We're looking into June, and since they're reprints, I want to say they might be in the next catalog or in the next solicits because we're starting. Or was it solicited with Spider-Man? Dang it! Now I got to think. I can't remember what the January solicits had. Nova for sure, man. Nova's got a lot of love. Black Cat or Immortal Hulk. I'll choose for you, man. You get that Immortal Hulk.
And I say Black Cat.
And you get Black Cat. What's up, Reaper?
Reap. How's it going, dude?
Oh, look at that. This guy, you got everybody fooled into thinking you're such a good guy. I'm excited for all these epics. My shelves are almost entirely epics. That's awesome, dude. Can we get Jess to say, nope, we're not doing that.
No,
we're not doing that.
What's wrong with you? Hey, Top Gun.
Look at people just coming in and say hi.
My buddies. I love my viewers.
I know this is you with 5 accounts. That's okay, though. I'm not calling you out. I'm late and about to start from the beginning. But any chance we get New Avengers Modern Epic could mean an Omni reprint. Love these shows. Thank you so much, Dominic. I think so. I think that's a very strong case. My thing with that I was talking to Kurtis about yesterday is that if they do an omnibus reprint, I would love for them to squeeze in Secret War in there. I think that would be so cool because that's never been collected in omnibus format. We have an OHC that's long out of print, and
Yeah.
I feel like that leads directly into that Avengers Assemble storyline because of the whole Raft stuff. But yeah, Immortal Hulk Smash, Puny Omni Spine. Here's a good question: if you guys weren't in charge of the Epic collections, what's one random series you would put together? I'd be in charge of New Warriors. Kurtis?
Well, I mean, last year I would have said Generation X, but that's already done now. So that's what's one random series. I would collect more of the Star comics. Star comic.
Oh,
Wally the
Scar
Wizard
from-
Epic Collection.
Top Dog. Top Dog.
Top Dog Epic Collection. Spider Ham. I actually I do love those books.
He does.
I love the all ages comics.
What about you?
I'm not I apologize to everybody. I'm not a big Epic reader, so I think all I have is Daredevil's run by Ann Nesenti in Epic format. So I apologize. I've failed you.
You could have left the word epic out of that when you said I'm not an epic reader.
Shut up. I read way more than you do. You have like 19
Dude,
shows
what are you talking about? Have you seen my reading stacks? Your hypothetical reading stacks are still smaller than my actual reading stacks.
My red stacks are bigger than your red.
Whatever.
Stacks.
Okay, but that might be true.
Okay,
It's
then.
not my fault they were printing books in papyrus when you were reading
Oh,
them.
shut up.
Ah, that's one.
weak. That's some weak sauce. An
God,
age joke, really?
You want me to go
You're
there?
going for an age joke? You're much better than that. What? We've reached the nadir. I can't believe it. An age joke. Holy crap.
Omar, you're saying Black Cat Omni will be in pre-order in December, but some websites, including PRH, are saying it's going to on pre-order in November. Which month is it? I said December?
I didn't even hear you say pre-order.
Yeah, look, okay, so if this is the solicit for February, that will be December, yeah. Because November will be the solicits for January. Because those aren't up yet, I don't think. Right, guys? You got it, Jess, you do DCBS. I'm not sponsoring the show, but what was the last Omni you pre-ordered from DCBS for last month? And when do you put your orders in?
I feel like it's 6 months ahead of time.
Okay, so did you put an order in for this month, for the month of October yet?
No, I'm not pre-ordering anymore.
Okay. Huh. So I want to say that this solicits will be for, it will be for December. That's when pre-orders will start.
And then that means they'll be coming out.
If you're wait, hold on. If you're saying Uncanny 5 is available for pre-order, that means this will be up for pre-order in November. Now, and I am a little confused because they're changing things too with PRH. So PRH will add books that you can pre-order from different catalogs. Like I get an email from them like, oh, now this book is up for pre-order through places like DCBS or cheapgraphicnovels.com. And but that's in the next catalog. So they are changing that. So if you do pre-order, keep an eye out on the emails that come out from those places. So Captain Marvel is in the current pre-order. So that must mean that's the January stuff.
So that's coming out in January?
No, the January solicits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
then this is February.
So
it's confusing, I know.
6 or 7 month lead, right?
It's supposed to be 6, but PRH is now wanting more, which Marvel hasn't done. So that's why when I do like breaking news, you're seeing books for August. You weren't seeing that last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, however long I've been doing breaking news. This is kind of a new thing because they have to have so much of the catalog already in there.
Okay, so you're saying it's like 8 months out then?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Okay, 8 or 10 months if it's August. From
those haven't gone into the catalog yet. And the one thing I will always stress to people is, unless it's Amazon where you can get your money back immediately, because they're always making mistakes, I don't pre-order. I always tell people don't pre-order things if it's just on the catalog. Wait for the actual pre-orders to go live for the solicitations, because we've been burned a lot by different places. I have a lot of my viewers that have emailed me like, "Hey, this place had." I'm not going to call any place out. It's an honest mistake, but I think we do need to be careful when it comes to pre-ordering things. Like they had the Descender books up for pre-order, and those books never were officially solicited, or the Harrow County hardcovers. Those books were never officially solicited. They were just they were in a catalog. But if they're not solicited, there's no way for places to order them. And Diamond is notorious for putting things there that don't exist, like the case of Spawn Origins hardcovers. They had like.
So then comic shops can order them? Like you can place the order through Diamond even though the book doesn't technically exist?
No, it won't. It won't let you place it.
Okay.
Are you showing me your Lady Mechanica shirt?
DH Doug is digging my shirt, so
He didn't super chat.
Well, he's not the t-shirt guy, so I'll show it to him for free.
Guy. I'm thinking of upgrading my standard size hardcover of Spider-Man Blue, although I think I should upgrade my bookshelf with it if I buy the gallery. I will tell you that the gallery editions do not fit into the KLAX. Case in point, this is the latest gallery edition, and does not. I mean, you can put it like that, I guess.
You need to get an adjustable Billy shelf.
So these go on top shelf. These are big books, so I don't mind. Or you can get a Billy. Yeah, you can get a Billy. I did not ask for stand-up and spit.
I didn't. I just showed you a little more of my shirt.
All right, let's go back to this. You can't say that about it. I'm not one of these guys that was like down with the Diamond Monopoly. I always said there were going to be bad ramifications of that.
And I am witness to that. Omar has been right about that for like 2 years now.
Somebody capture that sound clip so I can use it every day.
Omar was right. Omar was right. No, but you were. You were always saying that how Diamond you said that breaking up Diamond would be bad for comics, and that it was a benevolent monopoly. And then when they broke up, you were or went out of whatever happened to them during the pandemic, you were exactly right.
I mean, they have their bad things, right? Like every distributor, but at least discounts were up, not just for us, but for the retailers. Retailers can't afford to give us the discounts we used to get because they can't buy that bulk anymore. So yeah, it kind of sucked for a lot of for a lot of people, including retailers. And I know some retailers were really frustrated with Diamond, of course, because of their shipping but I mean, PRH has been it wasn't the light at the end of the tunnel they were searching for either. I do want to come back to this question because I said I would. How profitable is single issues from Marvel versus collected editions now? I still think single issues are profitable for companies, and whether that's because of, different variant covers and gimmicky covers or a new hot series. But it's definitely more profitable for the creators than collected editions. You can ask any creator that, like, how profitable it is. Yeah. That's why a lot of them don't do original.
What makes it more profitable? Because aren't they paid by page rate? And wouldn't the rate be the same for a...
Think about it this way. If you're living month to month and you don't have a single monthly comic coming out and you're waiting for that original graphic novel to get finished, that's, I don't know, 260 pages. I mean, the payoff is going to be great, right? But how are you going to pay your monthly bill?
So I mean, in the publishing world with a book, you get paid up front, you get in advance.
Right. I don't think that's the way it works with graphic novels. I will say that, like, any interview I've ever done where creators have talked about digital versus single issues and collected editions, the single issues are the ones that they get the most bang for their buck. And that could be because they have, I don't know, variant covers, or maybe there's some new contract that they have with creators. But I think it's really interesting because a lot of people are, because I mean, I focus on collected editions, but I think it would be bad for the creators. Like it would suck to get rid of monthly comics. And what do you guys think?
I think it would suck for the comic shops as well, who rely on the customers to come in on a monthly basis to pick up their books. I think that would be. I mean, they'd have to overhaul the whole system so that they would have, month, the collected edition schedule would come out in the same way that people could subscribe to the collected editions, like the X-Men collections, the Reign of X or whatever, those books.
The anthology
I think
books.
the anthology books. If Marvel or somebody went to more of that type of a thing, to do away with all singles and just did that kind of anthology stuff instead, that would probably be good for comic shops.
I don't know. Did you remember? Okay, so Marvel did that though. They did that in the early odds, like for less than a year. But CrossGen did it with, I think it was Edge. Is that what it was called? It was an anthology series that featured the CrossGen books every month, and that was one of the reasons why they kind of went bankrupt too. Like creating that book, because it just wasn't profitable for them. It's a freaking phenomenal idea. Like, I love that idea. I mean, that's what manga does, right? Like Shonen Jump or Shoujo.
They were still selling their single issues though, right?
Correct. You're talking about going that route. But then, yeah, I don't know if that would work, honestly. This is a really good conversation. I like this topic.
I mean, typically that's how also like Marvel comics in Europe have been more anthology collections rather than single issues as well.
And they're more accessible too, because there's just so many stories. CrossGen, Edge, and Forge. Thank you. That's what they were called. Yeah. What do you think, Jess?
I actually don't think I can speak to this as far as profitability of floppies. I'm worried that if they went to the model that Kurtis is talking about, like the Dawn of X and Reign of X trades and no floppies, I would be worried that would kill the LCS model. But I don't think I have enough knowledge to actually speak on it.
No Garthin is Max. Oh, wait, you won it. Okay, but I don't know if one's coming as of this moment.
The only thing I'm saying is that if they were
the reason Wizard went under.
It's 20 after the hour. He should be back to
he lied. He's a man of lies. Go ahead.
If they were to get I'm not saying if they get rid of the single issues, they just kind of keep on doing what they're doing, but collected in the anthology. They'd have to actually restructure everything. Like it would be a completely new way of thinking. It would have to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it would definitely. I mean, it would be difficult to do. The reason that Shonen Jump and those books are also popular and can exist without any consequences is because they don't have a shared universe. Despite of what the video games, when they like Smash Brother video games where all the characters are fighting each other, tell you. There is no shared universe between One Piece and Dragon Ball. Maybe some fanfics out there. So it's easy for them. So they don't have to have crossovers. They don't have to have the monthly crossovers that will help the sales of the lesser selling books. Yeah, that is a really good point. I think they would have to rethink everything. Like
with Shonen Jump, they always, I don't know if they still do it, but it used to be the case that there would the least popular of the stories in one issue of Shonen Jump would get cut, and they'd introduce something new.
I'm gonna. This is a really good. God, I want to continue this conversation because I find this really interesting. Omar, all the mangaka own their own series. That's not necessarily true, though. They still abide by regulations of editorial mandate. Like, look at Tai Kubo for a prime example of a guy that owns his own series. Wanted to end Bleach after the Death Society, the big arc, the second arc where they go to Wekamundo. Editorial said, "No, baby, this is too good. You got to keep going." That man lost every amount of soul he had for his own creation. That if you look at the later arcs, he doesn't draw backgrounds, he doesn't draw details. He was done. But because of editorial mandate, he still had to abide. Now, if he owned his own series, I mean, the same thing happened to Akira Toriyama, right? With Dragon Ball Z, he wanted to end it after was it the Cell Saga, and they were like, "No, we got to keep going. This is too good." So he had a couple of ideas from some other mangakas, and they kept going. I mean, it's a different world for sure. And they did try Shonen Jump here in America, and it was selling great at first. I mean, numbers from like I was visiting a friend of mine that owned a comic book store, and he was like, dude, we're looking at numbers like 80s comics numbers, like that good. And it was crazy to see that in a manga that was an anthology. Now, sadly, it went under too. So I don't know. I mean, definitely a difference in culture had a lot to do with that. We don't see a lot of people here reading in public like we do in Japan.
I think that if they got rid of the floppies, that the prices on collected editions would probably rise, because that would be where they would have to pay their artists.
Yeah. And it's impossible to do that without a monthly book. So yeah, this is a really good topic that I think I want to come back to, and we can make a whole live episode about, and I'll invite Lars to share his thoughts on how he made Wizard Magazine bankrupt. But that was a really good question, and I find this really interesting, and everybody in the chat that's really cool. Let's flip this back to Omnidog though. Why, Andrew, are you so awesome? Not his alternate account. That's exactly what an alternate account would say.
And also, thank you, William. Also, peace and love to Unstoppable Bar. She's great. Black Cat
she's
and
awesome.
SPIDER-GWEN were in this Unstoppable.
Yeah, she missed it. Sorry, Bar. But I'm sending her a book, so she'll be fine. Lars destroyed Wizard Magazine. That's going to be the title of our episode. Good job, Lars. Here in Mexico, the company that publishes Marvel and DC comics, most of them are trade paperbacks, so the deluxe single issues has been reduced. And honestly, at my 43 years, I prefer to wait for the trade paperback. Thank you. Yeah, it's a sad thing to see go away, right? I stopped collecting single issues many moons ago. Pretty much because I decided this is the way I'm going to go. Do you two get any single issues at all?
You got me a great variant from NYCC. Thank you, Omar. Getting this for me.
You're welcome.
This is the only kind of thing I'll get is variants that are really cool, but I don't collect them anymore to read. I read exclusively in collected edition format. Yeah,
I'm the same way. I actually just told my comic shop to put me on the list for Gargoyles, but that's the first time in a long time. The only single issues I buy are in the back issue bins of stuff like old Eclipse comics that aren't collected in anything else, that kind of stuff.
Well, Jess can't have everything, okay? He's not allowed to met my ex anymore. He doesn't read comics, only mangas. No, that's not the reason why. We are going to come back together, but I'm giving one of my wonderful co-hosts a.
Oh, look at that!
The man that bankrupted Wizard is back.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I have returned to talk about things about which I know very little because I was gone.
Oh, okay.
Lars, would you do away with floppies? If you could restructure Marvel Comics, would you do away with floppies and go to strictly a graphic novel?
No.
Shift. Why is that?
Wait, are we seriously having this discussion?
Well, it was a really good question that was brought up. Like, I mean, it wasn't the exact question. And then we started talking about it would be beneficial for companies to drop single issues and just.
No, it'd be a very bad idea. There's a few reasons. One, it's certainly bad for the companies is cash flow. That would be a problem. What else? Pacing would be a problem. And I don't know how you do that without radically upping the prices across the board. I mean, granted, you would be getting more content for what you're paying, but if the average price, it's just a lesson of economics that as average price goes up, readership goes down. And if suddenly you're expecting people to, like, if everything was priced at $25-$30, a lot of people are going to go, I'm not going to bother with that. There's also a lot of, we're learning the downsides of the Netflix model. You also don't get the advantage of like publicity. The fact that like the newest X-Men Eternals storyline has been, unspinning for like weeks and weeks and weeks. There's always new headlines about that. There's always new analysis about that. If you would just put them out in blocks, you wouldn't get that hit necessarily. I think there's a lot of good reasons for, why they keep the model around.
So I think I want to bring this back for sure to talk about it in a longer discussion about this, because I think it's such an interesting topic. And
well, yeah,
it's a really good question.
By the way, the other answer to your question is that, it works. A lot of the comic shops around here in Iowa, I know them quite well, and they tell me that like so much of their income is based on those singles. And if local comic book stores, if they didn't have that singles income, they might go out of business. And it cannot be assumed that the audience will transfer. I think assuming everyone will just adapt to the new model, I think is just a mistake.
Yeah, man, I'm Team Omar. So is Lars. Jess is still undecided right now, and Kurtis is all for burn the whole system down and start scratch.
Wow.
I've tried to present a balanced. I've also said things like the prices are going to go up, and so.
Then on top of that, you're going to see things like ads in our collected editions. Your omnibus spread pages are going to be broken up by, I don't know. I don't.
It doesn't necessarily have to be ads. I mean, you look at other book publishers; they don't have ads, commercial ads in their random books.
Yeah, but those are black and white books with words, right? Like we're talking about.
I'm just saying
full color pages. Team Omnidog. There's always one of you people.
Oh, what? There are dozens of us.
Dozens.
Singles also force the better writers to kind of write to that 22-page or whatever it is, 22-page chunk, and kind of concentrate it. If you told them instead, well, write 100, 150 pages all in one guy, it would start to really flag in parts. So yeah.
Well, it would be a learning curve for sure. Yeah.
Well, I would like to revisit this topic, and I will remind you all to come back to do it. Team Omnidog as well. I'm going to start booting some people here in a second. This king look crazy. What's up?
I like. Is it Omnidog or Sexy Dog? I see.
I neglected to read that.
He wasn't going to put that up.
I'm not seeing any hashtag epic Kurtis. Come on, what's going on here?
You had your moment yesterday. Black and white books with only words. Sounds awful. Kurtis is a madman.
Oh, man, yeah.
So if you would like to purchase books that are not books like we just described with words, check out cheapgraphicnovels.com here in the U.S. Tell them New York Mint Condition sent you their way for a free shipping credit on your next order. So that is cheapgraphicnovels.com. What if singles became 45 pages? So many what ifs.
Well, occasionally they are. I mean,
that's got to be Jess. This is ridiculous. You better hit that like button with all your.
He didn't even do with it. Silver Fox 19. I love you. Thank you.
You better hit that like button with all your 55 different accounts you've created. All right. That's it, everybody. I want to thank my panel of co-hosts for joining me. This was a lot of fun. And Lars coming in at the last minute. We'll go round table here. Where can people find you when you're not hanging out with me? Omnidog.
Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. And Omar, Lars, and Kurtis, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry I missed last month, and this is a lot of fun. Omar, thank you for inviting me. This is always great,
buddy. And I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Yes.
Lars, where are you these days?
I'm on madnorwegian.com, and we are still putting out Doctor Who guidebooks and whatnot. We have 2 volumes of About Time out next year, and hopefully another one by end of year as well. So, and of course, next year is Doctor Who's 60th anniversary.
Dude, what do you think about the power of the Doctor? I saw the trailer and I got all goosebumpy.
It became kind of shocking how much of a love letter to classic Doctor Who it was. I don't think any of us were expecting the degree to which that would be true. So it's a bit of an adjustment here. Someone's asking, what do I think about it? Well, oddly, we have a whole year to think about this now because
3 episodes, right?
3 episodes with David Tennant for the 60th anniversary, and that'll be out in like November of next year. So this is going to be a whole year it seems like without Doctor Who, unless they've got some, specials planned.
Wait a second. What is Lars most looking forward to from?
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you missed that.
Project I missed half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. Yeah.
Team Omnidog here. Where
Dr.
are you
Turbo.
coming from?
See, I would have never thought of a name like Dr. Turbo.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what you named your second dog. Kurtis, where can people find you, buddy?
Well, epicmarvelpodcast.com and on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on TikTok at Motion Toast, and I'm even on Discord and Substack. Trying new things, everybody. So much new social media out there.
What
is social media force?
What is your Substack about? What is your Substack about? Is that just more epic stuff, or?
No, actually, I do different articles about the stuff that I'm reading and such every Friday. I try to get that out every Friday. It's at kurtisfindley.substack.com. I talk about stuff I find at thrift stores or comics I've read and TV shows I've watched, do that kind of stuff.
You all should
Sign
go
up for
through the
free.
entire monthly previews magazine. I thought about that one time, but I don't know. It seems like it would be a long time. There's a lot of books coming out.
That would be a long live stream.
It would potentially be a slog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen people do that in the past, and they've had to prepare ahead of time of for each publisher, which are the top things you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Rather than
I think it would be definitely difficult. I do the collected editions every month, and that is a nightmare to put together. 16 hours of work just to get it prepped and then filming and editing. It's nuts.
Wow.
And I can't imagine doing live would be easy, right? You don't have to do any edits. You're just sitting there flipping through pages, but I don't know, man. Maybe there's something to think about. But that's it, everyone. Check out Kurtis and Omnidog. They both have their own channels. Lars is a big Doctor Who, and Norwegian Press is the name of the company, right?
Mad Norwegian Press.
Mad Norwegian Press. So check them out. Smash that like button on the way out. I will be back live on Saturday, and tomorrow is the upcoming collected editions for November. On Saturday, I think I may do the breaking news either tomorrow or Saturday. I can't remember what Dean said. That's it, everybody. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.
Peace and love.
Thank you all.